Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. My name is Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Kasani Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Seatbelts compulsory on expressways for all vehicles from the 19th of next month. All vehicle fines only through online payments from September. Cabinet approval to remove obstacles for Sri Lankans in India to return. A centre to provide global supply facilities within Katunayaka Free Trade Zone as a BOI project opened today. Compensation for crop damages due to the prevailing dry weather condition. Vietjet Air lands first ever direct flight connecting Sri Lanka and Vietnam. President Trump postpones imposing new tariffs for Canadian goods by another 3 days.
And now for your news in detail tonight. The Ministry of Digital Economy says that all necessary infrastructure facilities are in place to conduct all vehicle fines via online from September.
It has also been planned to issue the first digital identity card by the end of the year. The progress review discussion regarding projects and programs implemented in 2026 of the Ministry of Digital Economy was held today, headed by President Anurukumar Dissanayake at the Presidential Secretariat. Progress of projects including the progress of programs implemented under the Department of Registration of Persons, Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team, Data Protection Authority, Sri Lanka Telecom Mobitel, Colombo Lotus Star Management Company, as well as the digitalization of terrestrial television broadcasting was also reviewed at the meeting. Special attention was also focused regarding the implementation of government digital projects such as GovPay, National Super App and National QR Drive, introduced to facilitate more efficient monetary transactions being conducted with the government. The government expects to enhance the digital economy of the country up to $30 billion by the year 2030.
In more local news, Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs Anand Vijaypala says that cabinet approval has been granted to remove obstacles for Sri Lankans in India to return. Now, he made this observation replying to a question raised by parliamentarian Shankian Rasamanikam in the Parliament today. Minister Anand Vijaypala added that the cabinet had taken a decision the previous week to remove the obstacles faced by individuals returning to the country after having left through non-recognized airports. He said that the Department of Immigration and Immigration had notified the Act accordingly. The minister explained that under the Immigration and Immigration Act, anyone who had not departed through a recognized airport was previously subject to arrest, as it was considered an offence under the Act. However, with the cabinet approval they had now received, necessary arrangements had been made to allow them entry into the country without treating it as an offence. Minister Vijaypala further stated that interested individuals need to notify the relevant embassy or the Chennai Consular Office, after which their identity card as Sri Lankans citizens who left as refugees would be verified, and just like other instances, a clearance report from State Intelligence Service would be required before they could return to the country. Addressing the Speaker, the Minister affirmed that they had the capacity to proceed in that manner and assured that they would act accordingly.
Remains of veteran lyricist Venerable Rabukkana Siddhartha Thera is now kept at Sudharmarama Vihara in Vallavatta.
Venerable Rabukkana Siddhartha Thera, born on the 22nd of May 1950 at Deniyaya in Matara, is regarded as the emblem of the Sri Lankan Buddhist relics arena. Among popular relics of the Venerable Thera are Awwata Wassata Huru Minisunne, Pipena Malakata, La Dalu Bopat, Sandavatu Rakse, Senihasa Puda Amma Varun Wage, Kandulu Hela Nabiliyata, Me Irahanda Yata Hamuvi, Bana Kiyena Ratak are among most popular songs compiled by Venerable Thera.
Appa අප නමින් හෙලන්නට හෙටට කඳුලක් ඉතිරි වෙලා මේ ඉර හඳ යට හමු වී
නිසන යාර ගීතයේ සුන්දරත්වය විඳපු ඉන්දීය ශාස්ත්‍රවරයෙක් හැටියට තමයි අපි බුදුහාර දකින්නේ.
නිවන් දකින්නට පින්මති වෙන්නටි ඒකයි තවමත් සංසාරේ.
The Venerable Thera passed away while undergoing treatment due to an illness. The remains will be lying at Sudharmarama Viharaya, Vallavatta until Friday. A large number of people, including artists, are paying their respect to the remains of Venerable Ramukkana Siddhartha Thera.
ගමේ පන්සල අපේ පන්සල අපේ කමරක්
The cremation will take place on Friday afternoon at Sri Saranankara Sports Grounds, Dehiwala.
අපේ ළඟ හිටියා ගමේ පන්සල අපේ පන්සල අපේ කමරක්.
Now moving on with more local news. Police say that wearing seat belts is compulsory from the 19th of next month for all vehicles entering expressways. During a special media briefing to enlighten regarding the wearing of seat belts for motorists and passengers on expressways, the police emphasized that wearing seat belts will be compulsory for all passengers and the law will be implemented strictly. Director of the Traffic Control and Road Safety Division, Senior Superintendent of Police Manoj Ranagala said that moving forward, if someone was going to drive a vehicle on the expressway and enter through the toll gate, both the driver and the rear seat passengers must mandatorily wear seat belts. He explained that this regulation was being strictly enforced to prevent people from meeting with accidents. He further mentioned that the penalty involved is a fine sheet of 1,000 rupees, which could be paid, and noted that fine sheet could be issued to the front driver, passenger or anyone involved.
The inaugural direct flight of Vietjet Air connecting Sri Lanka and Vietnam arrived at ChannelEye Airport last night. Arriving at 9:33 p.m. yesterday carrying 169 passengers, the flight later departed back to Ho Chi Minh Airport in Vietnam with 171 passengers on board. This development is expected to further strengthen tourism and trade relations between the two countries.
Arrangements were made to warmly welcome Vietjet Air's inaugural flight VJ1875, which arrived last night at Katunayake Airport with a traditional water cannon salute. Notably, the A320 aircraft, configured with 180 economy class seats, was piloted by two Sri Lankans, Lead Captain Niwanka Silva and First Officer Randhira Pereira. Under the new flight schedule, direct flights are slated to operate 3 days a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays between Ho Chi Minh City Airport in Vietnam and Katunayake Airport. A large gathering attended the welcoming ceremony, including Minister of Ports, Civil Aviation and Energy Aruna Karunatilaka, Deputy Minister of Tourism Professor Ruan Ranasinghe and Ambassador of Vietnam to Sri Lanka, Trinh Thi Tham.
I think that all of you join me in this meaningful moment when we welcome the first direct flight from Ho Chi Minh City to Colombo, conducted by Vietjet Air. It will bring people closer to each other, and not only it contribute to tourism, it will also contribute to investment, trade, many other sectors of cooperation between Vietnam and Sri Lanka, especially when we have just upgraded our relation to the comprehensive partnership. I think that with the direct flight, Vietnam and Sri Lanka are now much more closer, and Vietnamese people will have more chance to visit the beauty of Sri Lanka and to enjoy the hospitality of your people like me.
After 55 years of bilateral relationships and after more than 3 decades of signing commercial agreements, so today is the day that the dream has been materialized. So congratulations. I am more into tourism, so this will be a platform for us to run this industry very effectively. Tourism is not merely an economic activity alone, it is an exchange of cultures. So now I think the platform is ready. So we at the Ministry of Tourism looking ahead, and we will have a discussion very soon as to how we can go ahead and promote and bring, well, numbers at the moment more from Sri Lanka to Vietnam, and we are looking ahead to bring more visitors from Vietnam to Sri Lanka as well.
3, 2, 1. Let's all cut the cake. Congratulations.
A centre for providing global supply facilities was opened in the Katunayake Free Trade Zone today as a BOI project. A sum of $10 million has been invested for this project.
This centre has been set up under the DART Global Logistics Group. The centre, with a space of 135,000 square feet, has been named as DGL Free Zone Private Limited. This hub helps international business through global supply services. BOI Chairman Duminda Hulangamua, Chairman of Export Development Board Mangala Vijayasinghe, Director of Civil Aviation Services Captain Daminda Ramukwalla and group of others graced the opening.
The center of gravity in global trade is moving and shifting towards Asia, and I firmly believe that Sri Lanka has an important role to play in the future of regional and global supply chains. We want to help international businesses grow in Sri Lanka and help Sri Lankan businesses to reach global heights. Sri Lanka is very dear and near to me, even though I operate worldwide. I have moved away now from the main forwarding fraternity. I'm still very much involved on the logistics side and then of course on the aviation side. But nonetheless, we are very committed to doing what we have to do here in Sri Lanka, and I really hope that Sri Lanka will take its place and take the opportunity to do what we have to do as a global hub.
Chinese robotics manufacturer Unitary Robotics made a dramatic debut on Shanghai's Sci-Tech Star Market today, as shares surged over 629% at opening.
Based in Hangzhou, the company offered more than 40 million shares to fund intelligent robot development, hardware research and expand manufacturing facilities. The blockbuster listing highlights China's growing influence in the global robotics industry, with China firms driving nearly 70% of global quadruped robot sales this year. Unitary has rapidly positioned itself as a world leader in robotics, with its humanoid robot shipment exceeding 5,500 units last year to secure over 32% of global market. Driven by expanding commercial applications and steady demand, the firm reported revenue of 1.15 billion yuan in the first half of 2026, marking an increase of over 48% year-on-year. Market analysts project robust growth for the sector, with humanoid robot shipments expected to surpass 510,000 units by 2030 as the company advances towards building a broader general-purpose robotic ecosystem.
More stories coming your way right after this break.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back. And the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau held a special press conference today at Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management in order to officially launch its new interim digital media and PR campaign. Key government officials, tourism authorities and leading hotel and tour operator association leaders gathered to unveil the strategic roadmap and the future direction for the country's travel sector.
Talking about tourism, the achievements that we have achieved for last 2 years, nearly 2 years, there is a series of international accolades. These will come not merely because of tourism promotion. The economic stability, political stability, the way that we govern and run the institutions, particularly the judiciary system, the democracy, in line with all these things, the image of Sri Lanka is consistently going up, and many of these indices recognizing Sri Lanka is a place that a tourist can come and spend leisurely. So I'm sure in the years to come also, we will maintain that momentum. And with the launch of this PR and digital campaign, which is the age of AI, so Sri Lanka is now ready for that age, and we are launching this PR and digital campaign with targeting the Australian market today, and we will also launch parallel to the WTM and German, Russia, India, China, targeting all these countries. Yeah, the interim campaign will run for 6 months, and by that 6 months we will start the wider global campaign.
After Ditwa, we never had a kind of a lapse on particular drop on tourism numbers. We achieved our best months consecutively after Ditwa, January, February and March. Thanks to most of the people who have been connected with us on voluntarily working in the particular digital campaign at that time. So that precursor comes into kind of a very solid, very constructed campaign right now. We are connecting with many aspects. Whilst the campaign partners, our tourism stakeholders are aligning with us, we are actually discussing this campaign all throughout with the associations, and we have been taking them in as an important part of this particular equation.
An awareness program on digital signature and paperless customs declaration system for importers and the business community was held yesterday at the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce Auditorium. It was organized by the said chamber. The benefits to the trade sector from the paperless customs declaration project were discussed extensively. The contribution of the Information Technology Division of Sri Lanka Customs to success of the project, which will be implemented from October 1st, was appreciated. A technical session was also organized by Lanka Pay and Sri Lanka Customs officials, where they were briefed on what a digital signature is, how to obtain it correctly, and its practical use in submitting customs declarations. Senior Additional Secretary to the President, Sivali Arukgoda, and a group of others participated in the event.
Now, Minister Harshan Nanakara says that measures have been taken to establish a special state mechanism to respond immediately in an emergency situation related to prisons. He points out that the new mechanism will function so as to confirm security, welfare and rights of inmates. The minister made these remarks joining an inspection tour at the Kalutara prison today. The minister also focused his attention on the congestion in the prison, health and sanitary facilities of the inmates and the quality of food. The minister held a mutual discussion with the prison officers on the problems faced by them as well. Minister Nanakara said that a situation regarding security coordination existed, along with shortcomings in the welfare activities of the inmates. He mentioned that a committee had been established under the leadership of the President, where they decided to create an integrated mechanism for every prison, a state mechanism capable of intervening to respond in emergencies and to address issues aimed at the welfare of inmates. The minister explained that this was a measure taken to identify and prevent problems before they occurred. Furthermore, he emphasized the security, welfare and rights of the inmates inside had to be ensured, highlighting that guaranteeing those rights was a major duty. The minister also had inspection visits to Gaul, Busa and Matra prisons.
Now, the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board has planned to offer compensation for crop damage due to the prevailing dry weather condition. Accordingly, a compensation of 100,000 rupees per hectare will be paid. Steps have been taken to pay the compensation up to a maximum of 5 acres before the end of this cultivation season. Chairman of the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board, Pemsiri Jasingharachi, said that they would provide free compensation up to 5 acres of paddy cultivation and up to 2.5 acres of maize, big onion, potato and soybean cultivation. He further added that they would grant compensation of 100,000 rupees per hectare up to a maximum limit of 5 acres. Dry weather is prevalent in a number of areas in the island today. Also, while several rounds of showers are expected in western, Sabragamo and northwestern provinces, as well as in Kandy, Norelia, Gaul, Matra districts. According to the weather communique, showers might also occur at a number of sea areas off the shores of Chilao. The water capacity of several main tanks in the number of districts have drastically decreased due to the dry weather condition. The water capacities of Parakrama Samudra with an area of 116,000 acre-feet and Mineria tank with a capacity of 110 acre-feet has decreased. The extreme dry weather condition affecting Batticaloa district has caused water resources in the district to dry up. According to our correspondent, farmers and fishermen of the area are facing extreme hardships. Minister Andruk Karunatilaka stated, although there is a dry weather condition prevailing, it has not affected the generation of hydroelectricity. With that, we'll be right back with some more news. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
And in more news, the second Kumbal Perahara of the historic Kandiya Asala Perahara festival paraded streets at the auspicious time at 6:41 this evening. The Perahara left facing north paraded Dalada Vidya, DS Seranayaka Vidya is expected to return by Raja Vidya. In today's second Kumbal Perahara, the relics casket is being carried by Tusker Ranaraja of Sri Dhanada Malagava. In a unique feature, the tusk is carrying the casket in the Perahara after a gap of 25 years and is also regarded as the senior most tamed tusker with a majestic pair of tusks. Tusker Ranaraja is flanked by Tusker Singaraja and Mian Raja at the second Kumbal Perahara. The 4 Mahadevala Perahara is also parading streets with a number of cultural items, and a large crowd was present to view the Perahara. Foreign news on the other side of this break.
Now, in your foreign news tonight, US President Donald Trump has taken action to postpone imposing new trade tariff for Canadian goods in another 3 days. It has been reported that this time has been reversed to take a final decision regarding the trade agreements between the two countries.
Before 2 hours of this announcement, it was scheduled to impose a 50% tariff for the Canadian exports amounting to nearly $20 billion US. On a post at his social media account, President Trump has stated that the proposed 50% tariff was suspended for 3 days based on the possibility of signing a trade agreement between Canada and the USA. Expressing views on this issue, Canadian Premier Mark Carney stated that there's a significant progress in trade talks. President Trump further says that along with the new accord, the earlier suspended Keystone XL oil pipeline project will be facilitated to be recommenced. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer's office states that according to the new agreement between the two countries, complete market access and economic protection policies is also included for American goods. Through this new trade reforms, market and employees of both U.S. and Canadian parties will be protected, the U.S. added. It is stated that strong obstacles have surfaced for the free trade relations existed between the two countries for decades due to new tariff policies imposed January last year by President Trump after returning to power last year.
More foreign news. Libya's coastal city of Misrata has officially kicked off the long-awaited Al Arar International Festival, welcoming athletes from around the globe for a 5-day sporting showcase.
Running from August 18th to 22nd along the Mediterranean coastline, the event marks a major effort by organizers to return international competition to the city while promoting Misrata as an emerging destination for sports, tourism and adventure. Footage from the festival shows packed beaches and action-packed events with teams competing in beach volleyball, off-road vehicle driving, dynamic motocross racing and sandy track cycling. Participants from nations including Russia, Ukraine, Brazil, Argentina and Czech Republic praised the warm hospitality, picturesque beaches and pristine conditions. In addition to beach volleyball and motorsport rallies, the expensive festival program features beach football, open water swimming, aquathlon and jet skiing competitions.
And in more international stories, bright yellow blooms are sweeping through Tochigi Prefecture, north of Tokyo, where millions of sunflowers are putting on a stunning seasonal display. A local farm in Nasu town is currently welcoming crowds of visitors eager to take in the vibrant summer scenery.
With the flowers reaching peak bloom slightly later than usual, families and travelers alike are making the journey to catch the spectacular sight before the season winds down. At Nasu Heartful Farm, roughly 1.5 million sunflowers now cover an expansive 8-hectare field. Visitors walk around paths flagged, tall stalks stretching to human height, while others took in panoramic views high observation deck. One father visiting from Kawasaki City shared his excitement, noting that the rare, stunning landscape provided his children with an unforgettable summer memory. Farm managers confirmed that the peak bloom arrived about a week behind its normal schedule. The sunflower field remains open to the public through Friday, with a 500 yen admission fee, roughly $3 for visitors of junior high school age and older.
And in your sports news tonight, India beat Sri Lanka in the first test played in the Galle International Cricket Stadium today by 165 runs.
India scored 462 runs in their first innings and restricted Sri Lanka to 284 in the first innings. India scored 193 runs in the second innings. Accordingly, Sri Lanka team were given a target of 372 runs in the second innings for victory. At the opening of the final day today, Sri Lanka were 84 runs for the loss of 4 wickets with captain Dhananjay Silva and Sonal Dinusha at the crease. As the first wicket of the day, Dhananjay was out for 59 runs. Sonal Dinusha, who scored a century in the first innings, claimed his second half-century in Test cricket with 84 runs. Sri Lanka could only score 206 runs in the second innings. In bowling, Manav Sudhar claimed 6 wickets. In the second Test between the two countries will be played at the SSC grounds in Colombo from the 23rd of this month.
He goes to his 50.
Well, that was a look at the news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira, together with Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. Wish you a pleasant evening and a wonderful week ahead.
Good night.